Greetings, everybody. Unfortunately, last week when I went to perform in Richmond, the audio of the video of the performance came out absolutely terrible. And it's not the fault of the event planners, because the venue that they booked had pretty good equipment. The fault was that of the camera that I have. It just didn't translate that audio well. So really don't want to really show anybody this because it sounds bad. But there was a question and answer portion after my performance. And I guess maybe because there was no music being played over those speakers, the camera handled it a bit better. So I figured I'd at least share that with you guys. So here you go.
Humanism tends to be a topic that has been dominated by old white men for so long. And I think it's wonderful that you're bringing the message of humanism into a community that wouldn't normally get a chance to receive it, not knowing what you're talking, as you said earlier. How is it being received? How is it going? And can you tell me how the reactions to what the music you're doing?
Mixed. Okay, so let me tell you, this is what usually happens. Okay. Sometimes people will come up and from my community, they hear my songs, and they're under the assumption because of years of narrative about atheists. Does that mean he worships the devil? Got mad. And maybe they won't ask me, but they'll ask a mutual friend. Does that mean he believes in the devil? And then I get the other sort that have been questioning this stuff all along. You know, it just didn't smell right. And to hear somebody say it in this format opened them up to be able to ask more questions and to say, yeah, y'all always had thoughts about how it just didn't make sense that all of humanity came from Adam and Eve. That just was two people, and she's a ripped woman. Like, it doesn't make sense. But they might not question that amongst their family members because, as all of you know, there is a price to be paid socially when you come out as an atheist and say you don't believe in those myths. So when I do what I do in my music and they hear some of those songs that talk about that, it kind of opens people up to come to me. You'd be surprised how many non-believers or people that are nudging that way are in the inner city. It's a lot of them. Because they look at their environment and they go, he loves us? Really? You know, that sort of thing.
I have a thing, it's more of a comment than a question. I have something that's more of a comment than a question. And that is just, I think one of the great advantages that humanists have is, which is an advantage that some Christians have too, which is we're willing and happy to support each other across communities. Very few humanists are racists. You can't say that about every group of people. So I'm very happy to support you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I'm glad that you're having the reception you're having. And it's important to keep in mind that people didn't think Edgar Allan Poe was so great in the United States. It was the French who had to save him and send him back to us. So you're not always appreciated where you come from, but eventually that kind of thing works through usually.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Tell us about how you chose your name. I'm betting your mom did it.
You mean to tell me you don't believe that's on my birth certificate? You're too skeptical. My name, first of all, I've been rapping for like 30 years. All right, so I went through an enormous amount of names. This particular name came because there was a certain point in my life where certain events took place that had me feeling as though the person that I used to be, I couldn't be that guy anymore because he was too vulnerable. And on top of that, I had just had a child. So a lot of the behavior that I was engaging in before my child was born, I felt like that had to come to a complete halt because I did not want my child to say the things about me that I said about my father. So I killed that old me. So that guy's, he's gone. He's in the grave somewhere. And I came up out of that Tombstone with the Deadman. Now, over the last, I would say, 4 years or so, I've grown a considerable little fan base now. And the mythos of that name has like evolved everywhere from a walking zombie to an avatar of death to Lord Entropy himself. I get tagged in anything that has to do with death on Facebook. I get tagged in. So that's how that name came.